Okay, I wanted to show you one of my mini light mod inventions. Of course, it'd be a lot closer than this for macro photography, but this is one of my mini light mods I came up with a long time ago. I call it the Macro Trident. It's using a three-prong taped together pieces of 16 gauge wire. Right now I just have a piece of foam board behind it sloping off at about a 45-degree angle as an infinity backdrop, which I would properly illuminate either with regular illumination or preferably a speed light, or what I prefer to use is a fiber optic cable for very selective illumination. What I'm actually able to do with this is use either three arms, all the arms, or one arm or two arms, whatever I'm wanting, bend the rest of them out of the way. I think a lot of people forget they were doing digital photography. When it comes to actually taking these arms in Lightroom, even if they show up in a macro frame shot like this, I still have about that much wire showing in the shot. And so far as erasing that out is very, very, very quick and simple. Let me take this off here. What I've actually done is bend these arms so it hold the sea urchin perfectly. Sea urchin. I said sea urchin, didn't I? There we go. I bend these three arms back into place. I found that with this little creation of mine, I'm actually able to bend these to hold basically anything and everything. Let me bend these both back kind of close. I'm able to give tension to whatever I want and quickly and easily place it for macro photography like this, or stick a piece of fiber optic cable, illuminate something from inside or illuminate it from behind. This is totally free. Well, the foam board will cost you $2. I'm going to assume you already have a piece of foam board. Okay, but I can, as long as it isn't too heavy, I can stick anything. I actually had some sand come out of this shell. Go figure that one, huh? I'm actually able to stick anything on my little creation here. Let me bend it this way a little bit more. There we go. Very fast and easy setup. To have something actually floating like that for macro photography, because simplicity is divinity, you know? A lot of people will, when it comes to macro photography, if you lay something on something perfectly smooth, unless it's a piece of like black mirrored glass or something, which is perfectly appropriate, you know, have something totally autonomous hanging in free air with an infinity backdrop is actually preferable as far as really simple macro photography. Just edit these out in Lightroom. Take these off and show you what it is. I have a piece of tape holding it into a hole that I have down here in the foam board, and I've got three of these, and this is it. So simple. It's just a little trident, and like I said, if you only need one arm for a small object that you want to skewer and actually stick on the end of that, you have to be able to skewer it, either that or stick it in the hole of some sort of macro object, obviously. Or use all three of these and bend these however you want. It's just a piece of taped 16 gauge wire, and all I do is drop it in a hole in my foam board down here. I'll pan down and let you see. It's just dropped into a hole and taped in a piece of foam board. So, free wire. I'm assuming you have wire around the house. Cut off three sections of equal length, about 9 inches long. I just have this piece of white foam, black, whatever you want. You could use a piece of paper behind this and actually curve it for a better infinity background, depending on how you illuminate it, or any color that you want. Eliminating out this wire in the crop macro shot is extremely easy. Very, very, very effective, and very fast and easy to set up. Ta-da! Look how long it took me to do that. Crop in like right about here, or wherever you want, and that's it. I didn't actually have it taped in perfectly there. It started to slide forward a little bit on me. Anyway, I thought I'd show you that. Simplicity is divinity, and it doesn't get any more simple than this, and it's incredibly effective. Like when I take a bunch of macro shots of various things, I'll see people staging objects endlessly. Let me bend this down. I'll put a little bend right here, like for my sea urchin again. I see people staging macro shots endlessly to get an infinity background to make it hover. I need to bend this out a little bit more to give it some tension inside the sea urchin there. So it's actually holding it like fingers. There we go. There's that. Crop right in there. I love these things since they're translucent. I'll actually drop a piece of fiber optic inside and I'll use a speed light to drop the light through the fiber optic cable on the inside, and I'll actually use the speed light to illuminate it from the inside to the out, and it makes a really beautiful picture effect. Boom. Right like that. I said 10 seconds to actually erase out these green wires in Lightroom. Back in the days, we actually had to consider stuff like that. It's like, oh, you know, it can't be in the scene, you know? Like, well, now I just go in there with a brush tool and just brush it out. Take a sample of the color next to it and just erase it, and it's gone. Thank you for watching. Simplicity is divinity. Sometimes they're really these are the sort of things like a post-it note. This is like the post-it note in macro photography. People go like, why didn't I think of that? You know, it's so simple. It's so stupidly simple. Why didn't I think of that? There's a lot of stuff like that in life, isn't there? Thanks for watching. Catch you later. Bye.